Hello friends, continuation with the last part over here. Already in the last lecture we have started chapter number 2 parallel line. Numerical number 1, 2, 3, 4 from problem set is already completed. Moving to the next part, and the part is now we are moving to question number 5, and the part is line AB parallel to line CD parallel to line EF and line QP is their transversal. If y is to z is equal to 3 is to 7, then find the measure of angle x. Now I'm going to explain the same question from diagram point of view, and the part is line AB parallel to line CD parallel to line EF means line AB as well as CD as well as EF. These three lines are mutually parallel with each other. QP is their transversal. So QP is their transversal. They have also given three angles. Among them, one angle is angle X, angle Y, and third angle is angle Z. If Y is to Z is 3 is to 7, angle Y is to angle Z is 3 is to 7, then find the measure of angle X. Then find the value in terms of measure angle X. Now, here we have to create some correlation, and with the help of correlation, we will get the answer. And these correlations are found with the help of two parallel line and transversal. So I'm going to draw two different diagrams so everyone can understand. And the part is first they have given line AB parallel to line CD. I have taken line AB parallel to line CD and about angle X and angle Y. About angle X and angle Y. No doubt it is formed due to QP, which is a transversal over here. As line AB and line CD are parallel, then angle X and angle Y will be a pair of interior angles. No doubt angle X plus angle Y is 180. So writing or describing that part over here. Here angle X plus angle Y is equal to 180 degree. And the reason or part, sum of the interior angle is equal to 180 degree. This is the property we are using over here. Means we have a relation, that is angle X plus angle Y is 180 degree. In second diagram part, I'm going to explain AB parallel to EF and QP is act as a transversal. So AB parallel to EF and QP is act as their transversal. So the part is, we are discussing about angle X and angle Z. But now as line AB is parallel to line EF, then your angle X and angle Z will be act as alternate angles. And we know that when lines are parallel, then alternate angles are congruent. Means angle X is equal to angle Z. So angle X is equal to angle Z. And the reason, alternate angles. Now here we are using the same property over here. First of all, we are going to write X plus Y is equal to 180 degree. Now your value of X is equal to value of Z. So we can write angle Z plus angle Y is also 180. And about angle Z and angle Y, we have a relation about angle Z and angle Y over here. That is 3 is to 7. And then we are using it. So the part is. So your question is, line AB parallel to line CD parallel to line EF and line QP is their transversal. If Y is to Z is 3 is to 7, then find the value of measure angle X. Now student, please pay attention. Proper writing is also major part taken into consideration with the diagram, where this angle is X, next angle is your Y, and last angle is your angle Z. Now I already shown you split up or break up. So writing part from the main diagram reference, and the part is, as line AB parallel to CD parallel to EF and QP is their transversal, they have given it. So I'm going to write it as given. So this is the first part given. So the next part is angle X is equal to angle Z. Here this angle X is equal to angle Z, and this is the reason nothing but alternate angles. So I'm going to write the reason as alternate angles. Next over here, we have also correlation between angle X and angle Y, as it is a pair of interior angles. So I'm going to write the second part. Also, angle X plus angle Y is equal to 180 degree. Angle X plus angle Y is equal to 180 degree. Reason, interior angles or angle addition of interior angles. Now we are get the second relation, that is angle X plus angle Y is 180 degree. Angle X plus angle Y is 180 degree as it is an interior angle. But we know that angle X is equal to angle Z. Angle X equal to angle Z. So instead of writing angle X, I am shifting it by angle Z. So now your equation is modified and it become angle Z plus angle Y is equal to 180 degree because you have removed X and written it as a Z. So angle Z plus angle Y is equal to 180 degree. Now here angle Z plus angle Y is equal to 180 degree. Why we have created this relation? Because we have a measurement value in terms of Y and Z only. That is why we have created a relation between angle Y and angle Z. But again the confusion part is that they have not given value of angle Y and angle Z directly. They have given angle Y plus angle Z is 3:7. So taking into consideration with multiplying factor. Giving this equation angle Y plus angle Z equal to 180 as equation number 1. So the next part is also angle Y is to angle Z. Angle Y is to angle Z is 3:7. So we are taking some multiplying factor like M or other part. Here in this numerical we are taking A as a multiplying factor. So let A be the common multiple. Means here Y is to Z they have given 3:7 and we want to find out the value of Y and Z in some proportionate. So we are writing that value. Angle Y is equal to 3 is get multiplied by A, so 3A, and Z is equal to 7 means 7 into A. Your angle Z becomes 7A. These are the value which is available of that angle after multiplying factor. Now coming to the next part, and the part is as per your diagram. The part is we have created one equation that is angle Z plus angle Y is equal to 180. That is nothing but equation 1. And now putting the value of angle Z and putting the value of angle Y from the modification as we have multiplied by A in terms of multiplying. Angle Z is nothing but 7A plus Y is nothing but 3A. So 7A plus 3A is equal to 180 degree. Is equal to 180 degree. 7A plus 3A is equal to 180 degree. Naturally 7A plus 3A that become 10A. So 10A is equal to 180 degree. As 10A is equal to 180 degree, naturally you can say that A is equal to 180 divided by 10 means 18. So your value of A become 18. Now you are able to get A value as a 18 which is a multiplying factor. Now our main target is to find the value of X over there. So the part is we know only the angle Z and angle Z is equal to angle A. As angle Z is 7A, naturally angle X is also 7A. So therefore angle Z which is equal to angle X is equal to 7A. So 7A is nothing but 7 into 18. So 7 into 18 and 7 into 18 and that is nothing but 126 degree. And in this way you are able to get the value of angle Z or you can say angle X as per our numerical. Now coming to the next numerical, and the part is here if line Q parallel to line R and line P is their transversal, and if A is equal to 80 degree, then find the value of F and G. First of all, try to understand the diagram as per book. In this diagram also they have given some additional points also, but we have to focus to main diagram only. So the part is they have given line Q parallel to line R. This is the first step. Next, line P is their transversal, and if angle A equal to 80 degree, so this angle A given over here and naturally it is 80 degree, then find the value of F and G. Now where is F and G? So value of F and G they have given over here. F is over here and G is over here. Addition to these two angles, they have given some additional angle like A, B, C, D and E, F, G, H. In this way they have given additional angle just for your confusion, but definitely we are going to try to understand step by step. So A, B, C, D which is given over here and E, F, G, H over here. E, F, G, H and value of angle A is equal to 80 degree. Remember they have given angle A as a 80 degree and our target is to find the value of F and G. Here this numerical is small but tricky and we are going to solve it by some method in which angle A, they have given 80 degree. We cannot create a relation with A with F. But yes, with this part, angle A and angle G, these are nothing but exterior alternate angles. And we can use the correlation between angle A and angle G because they are already given that line Q is parallel to line R and line P is transversal. Naturally, angle A and angle G are exterior alternate angle, and I'm using that property over here. So the part is A, you can write symbolically A, or you can say angle A is equal to 80 degree. They have given us, so we are going to write it as given. Next, angle A and angle G are equal because they are exterior alternate angles, and alternate angles are congruent. So A equal to G, reason exterior alternate angles. You can write symbolically A as well as G, or you can also write angle A or angle G. That depend upon your writing style. So angle A equal to G, and that is equal to 80 degree. So within the third line, we can get an answer over here. Now if angle G is equal to 80 degree, angle G and angle F form on a linear pair. And we know that in linear pair, angle addition is 180 degree. So we are using second formula for calculation of F, and a part is. Also, angle G plus angle F is equal to 180 degree. Reason, linear pair of angles or linear pair angles. So G plus F or angle G plus angle F is equal to 180 degree. Now we are able to get the value of G, that is 80 degree. Putting the value of angle G over here, angle G is nothing but 80 degree. So 80 degree plus angle F is equal to 180 degree. Shifting this 80 degree over here, and a part is F is equal to 180 minus 80 degree, and F is equal to 180 minus 80 means value of F is equal to 180 minus 80 means 100 degree. In this way, we are able to calculate the value of F, and that is 100 degree. Students, you are supposed to write it very systematically, and for final answer, make a habit to make a box, as well as you can also write as answer number 1 and answer number 2. And in this way, you can complete question number 6. Now, in the same manner, we are moving to next question, that is question number 7, and the part is. So question number 7 and the part is question number 7. If line AB parallel to line CF and line BC parallel to line ED, then prove that angle ABC is equal to angle FDE. So the part is here, first of all, line AB parallel to CF as per their given condition, and second, line BC parallel to ED. Now BC means this line will be over here. BC parallel to ED. Then prove that angle ABC parallel to FDE. Angle ABC means this angle is parallel to FDE means this angle. Once again, I'm going to explain the part in terms of diagram point of view, and the part is here AB parallel to CF means these two lines are parallel, and second BC parallel to ED. Now according to this view, we have to understand the part, and the part is here we have to prove that angle ABC means this angle is congruent to FDE means this angle, and that you have to prove over here because our target is angle ABC congruent to FDE. Now step by step I'm going to give you ideas and tricks. You cannot write the correlation between angle B and angle D directly, so you have to create some correlation for that, and after that you can reach to the answer. So the part is, first of all, I'm going to show you breakup of a part so you can easily understand the part. Here they have given AB parallel to CF. Naturally, your angle ABC, which is over here, angle ABC must be congruent to BCD over here, because these two now become alternate angles. Means you created a relation of angle B with angle D. Next, the part is angle ABC is congruent to BCD, reason alternate angles. Next, we have also one relation between angle BCD and FDE, because again these two angles, angle C and here angle D. These are corresponding angles. So writing that part, angle BCD is congruent to FDE because these two angles are corresponding angles. In the first case, we have created the relation B with C. In the first case, we have created the relation B with C. In the second case, we have created the relation C with D. When first angle is congruent to second angle and second angle is congruent to third, then it is said that first angle is congruent to third angle. Now, second part is important after understanding how to write it. So observe the writing part carefully, and the part is therefore in second part you are getting BCD is equal to FDE. Now you will get BCD is equal to FDE, and this is nothing but alternate angle. Now writing is also most important and challenging over here. So try to understand each and every step, and the part is here we are going to write the answer in the form of number, statement and reason. So the first part, line AB parallel to CF and line BC act as a transversal. They have given it, so given. Then the part is here AB parallel to CF, here AB parallel to CF, and here BC act as a transversal. So BC act as a transversal. Now we know that if two lines are parallel and there is a transversal, then their alternate angles are congruent. Means you can write angle ABC is the angle over here B, and angle BCD is the angle over here must be congruent because these are alternate angles. So writing that part over here, and the part is angle ABC is congruent to BCD, angle BCD, and these are nothing but alternate angles. So writing that part over here, and the part is angle ABC is equal to angle BCD, angle ABC is equal to angle BCD. Reason, alternate angles, giving it as equation number 1. Now second part, line BC parallel to ED. This line BC is parallel to ED, and here CF is act as a transversal. So I written the statement, if line BC is parallel to ED and line CF is act as a transversal. So coming to the part, they have given it, so given. Natural two lines are parallel and transversal is given. Now we can write angle BCD, this angle C over here must be congruent to FDE, which is over here. So the part is angle BCD means angle over C over here is equal to FDE, angle over here, and these two are nothing but corresponding angles. So writing that part, angle BCD is equal to FDE, angle BCD is equal to angle FDE, and giving it as equation number 2, and the reason is corresponding angles. Now with the help of equation 1 and equation 2, you are able to reach to understanding that angle BCD and angle BCD is available in both the cases. So writing that part, from equation 1 and 2, we know that angle BCD equal to angle BCD. Angle BCD is equal to angle BCD. Naturally, we can say that angle ABC is congruent to FDE. Angle ABC is congruent to angle FDE. So writing that part, from equation 1 and 2, angle ABC is equal to angle FDE. Angle ABC is equal to angle FDE, and that is your required proof. And you can see the concept called as bitransitivity, means when first angle is congruent with second and same second angle is congruent with third, then it is said that first angle is congruent with third, and the concept is called as transitivity. Now please observe it, and just here additional part is that here you have to write alternate angles and here you have to write corresponding angles. Now moving to the next question, and the part is Here in this question, this diagram is very typical. So understand each and every step properly so that all the concept will be clear for you. And a part is question number 8. Line PS is a transversal of parallel line AB and CD. Means line AB and line CD is parallel and they have given PS as a transversal. So line PS is a transversal which intersect AB at point Q and CD at R. If ray QX, ray QY, ray RX and ray RY are the angle bisector, then prove that QXRY is rectangle. Now, initially they have given AB parallel to CD and PS as a transversal. It intersect at point Q as well as R. And now they have given angle bisector of every angle. Means one is angle AQR. They have given angle bisector over here. CRQ. They have given angle bisector over here. BQR means they have given angle bisector over here. And DRQ means they have given angle bisector over here. How? Pay attention step by step. So the first step, they have given a first angle bisector over here. Means this angle AQR is divided in two equal parts. Next, second angle bisector means angle BQR is divided in two equal parts. Third angle bisector here means this angle CRQ is divided in two equal parts. And the last angle bisector over here. They have given this intersection of angle bisector as a X and another ray over here. And their angle bisector is Y. Now observe this question once again. If ray QX, ray QX, ray QY, ray QY, ray RX and ray RY, ray RX and ray RY are angle bisector. Means QX is an angle bisector, these two angles are equal. Ray QY is an angle bisector, means again these two angles are equal. Ray RX is an angle bisector, means again these two angles are equal. And ray RY is an angle bisector, means again these two angles are equal. Then prove that QXRY is rectangle. We have to prove that QXRY, QXRY is angle bisector. Now you cannot understand directly from the diagram, so I'm going to draw split up of a diagram and step by step try to understand it. So the part is here AB is parallel to CD, line AB parallel to CD, and PS is act as a transversal. It intersect AB at Q and CD at R. They have first angle bisector QX. So I'm going to draw it. QX. Naturally, QX is the angle bisector of AQR. This angle, total angle AQR is divided in two equal parts. Means AQX equal to RQX. I'm going to indicate it as EE. Why I have taken EFGH? Because AB and CD is already in your answer. Also PS is over there, QR is over there, and X in Y is also over there. So I selected a different alphabet like EFGH over here. So these two angles are equal. I'm going to indicate it as E and E. Similarly, I'm going to use the same part for all the other angles. Second, again RX is angle bisector. So I'm indicating it as FF. Angle FF. Next, RY is also angle bisector. So after EF, I'm going to indicate by GG. So GG angle bisector. And again, QY is also angle bisector. So indicating it as angle H, angle H. And in this way, I have indicated new 4 pair, or you can say 8 angles. EE, FF, GG, HH. And in this way, you have to show that, we have to prove that QXRY, QXRY, QXRY as a rectangle. Now if you want to prove it as a rectangle, in that case the part is, you must able to understand one part, and the part is you have to prove that every angle is a 90 degree. you have to prove that every angle is a 90 degree. Now our target is to show every angle to be 90 degree. Means you have to show that QXR is a 90 degree. We have to show that QYR as a 90 degree, because these are nothing but angles of a rectangle. XQY, this angle is also 90 degree we have to show, and XRY, this angle is also we have to show 90 degree. Now when you're going to prove that part, first understand some logic. Here we are using the logic as line AB parallel to line CD and PS is act as a transversal. Then we can say that addition of interior angle is 180 degree, means angle E plus E means 2E, and angle F plus F means 2F. 2E plus 2F is equal to 180 degree. So 2E plus 2F is equal to 180 degree. 2E plus 2F is equal to 180 degree. If you want to divide this entire equation by 2, then we'll get E plus F equal to 90. Means if I'm going to talk about the triangle QXR, angle E plus angle F is equal to 90 degree. We have also one property that sum of the angles in a triangle is 180 degree. So we are going to consider this triangle QXR. Naturally E plus F is 90, and third remaining angle must be automatically 90. Same concept we are using over here, and the part is 2G plus 2H is equal to 180 degree, as AB parallel to CD and PS is act as a transversal. Here total angle G plus G means 2G plus angle H plus H means 2H. 2G plus 2H is equal to 180 degree. Divide the entire equation by 2. We'll get G plus H is equal to 90 degree. Now if one angle G is over here and one angle H is over here, G plus H is 90. Naturally in this triangle QYR over here, automatically G plus H is 90, then the next remaining angle must be 90 degree, because sum of the angles of triangle is 180 degree, and we can use this property over here. Now what exactly our target? Once again try to understand. If you want to show that QXRY as a rectangle, then we have to show that every angle, means angle X, angle Y, angle R and angle Q must be 90 degree. So indicating that part, QXRY is a rectangle, and we have to show that angle X as well as angle Y as a 90-90, means we have to prove that these are 90 degree, and after that again we have to prove that angle Q and angle R as a 90-90, and in this way we can show that QXRY as a rectangle. Now understanding is important, at the same time writing style is also important. So first of all I would like to request student, you are supposed to draw first this diagram on your notebook, write properly question and diagram, because on the next slide diagram is not available, so you have to understand by own logic. So it's better that you can write the question, draw a diagram and then observe the next steps. So the part is number, statement and reasons, and the part is, you know that QX is an angle bisector of angle EQR. Here QX is nothing but the angle bisector of EQR. So naturally we are splitting the part as EE. So this is given by them. So the part is angle AQX is equal to RQX is equal to E, as we are taken into consideration as angle E, giving it as a equation number 1, or by property of angle bisector. Similarly they have given Rx also as an angle bisector. So Rx is the angle bisector of angle CRQ. So writing it split up for angle F, and the part is, they have also given that Rx is angle bisector. So given, naturally angle QRX is equal to CRX is equal to F. I'm going to call it as equation number 2 over here. So we have written a split up of angle EE and FF. Now we are going to consider a triangle QXR, and the part is, here they have given us line AB parallel to line CD and line PS act as a transversal. They have given. So we are going to write the property of interior angles, and the part is, Therefore, angle AQR plus angle CRQ or QRC is equal to 180 degree, means sum of the interior angles. AQR means your 2 times E and QRC means your 2 times F is equal to 180. So writing that part in terms of interior angles. So we'll get 2E, that is nothing but AQR, plus QRC means 2F is equal to 180 degree. 2E plus 2F is equal to 180 degree, dividing entire equation by 2. Here 2E plus 2F, we are getting the reference from E as well as F as 2E and 2F is equal to 180 degree. So from reference equation 1 and 2. So writing that part, dividing entire equation by 2 and the part become E plus F is equal to 90 degree. As E plus F is equal to 90 degree, you can take a consideration of triangle QXR. So in second, in triangle QXR, angle XQR is E and XRQ is F. So we are writing sum of the angles of triangle QXR is 180 degree. So writing that part, sum of the triangles means angle QXR plus angle XQR means E plus angle XRQ means F. So we have taken this reference from E and F, that is equal to 180 degree, sum of the angles of a triangle. Now you know that E plus F is 90 degree. So E plus F means 90. So I am writing angle QXR plus 90 degree is equal to 180 degree. Reason, sum of the angles of a triangle. Therefore, angle QXR plus 90 degree is equal to 180 degree. Shifting this 90 to that side, 180 minus 90, and you are able to get the answer QXR is equal to 90 degree, because it is nothing but 180 minus 90, and that become 90 degree. In this way, we are able to get one angle as QXR V 90 degree. Student, please observe writing style because it is the most important. Now, similarly, we are going to write for the other parts also. Hope you have drawn a diagram in front of you, and observing that diagram, you are observing each and every step. Same part of second that I am going to make copy paste over here. In triangle QXR, angle XQR is E, angle XRQ as a F. Means sum of the angles of a triangle, and we are able to get angle QXR as a 90 degree. Now we have to write the same part for third group, means triangle QYR. So the part is similarly in triangle QYR, angle YQR is H and angle QRY as G. So again writing angle addition of all the three angles of a triangle QYR. Again sum of the angles of a triangle. So the part is angle QYR also we are able to get as a 90 degree. With the help of above copyright, we can directly write similarly in the part of O here. So again, you are able to get QYR as a 90 degree. Now, in this way, we are able to get angle X as well as angle Y. These are the opposite angles, and 90 is the value available over there. Now, you have to calculate XQR, XQY as well as XRY. So the part is measure angle AQR plus measure angle BQR is equal to 180 degree. Reason, angles in linear pair, and naturally AQR means 2 times E and XRQ means 2 times H. So the part is 2E plus 2H is equal to 180 degree. Again divide entire equation by 2. It becomes E plus H is equal to 90 degree. Therefore E plus H is equal to 90 degree. And in this way, E plus H is nothing but angle XQY. Here divide by 2. So you will get XQY, this angle as a 90 degree. The same part we are doing for angle XRY. From the reference of fourth, we are taking the reference of fifth, and that is nothing but angle CRQ plus DRQ, and the part is measure angle CRQ plus measure angle DRQ is equal to 180 degree. In this case, angle CRQ is nothing but 2 times F. So CRQ is nothing but 2 times F. And DRQ means 2 times G. So the part become angle CRQ, that is 2 times F, plus major angle DRQ means 2 times G, is equal to 180 degree. Reason, angles in linear pair. Dividing entire equation by 2, we are getting F plus G is equal to 90 degree. F plus G is equal to 90 degree, and F plus G is nothing but your angle XRY. Therefore, dividing entire equation by 2, and you will get angle XRY as a 90 degree. In this case, our first angle, our second angle, our third angle and fourth angle all are becoming 90 degree, and we can say that the given diagram, that is QXRY, is rectangle. And in this way, students, you are supposed to complete. Student, during observation for last numerical, that is numerical number 8, first of all draw a question, draw a diagram, and then observe the number 2, number 3, number 4 and number 5. Then you can easily understand the part. Up till this lecture, up to this part, thank you very much.